It was, yeah, it was the one with Lean Back and Take You Home.
All
That
right.
was the first album I bought, though. So, you know.
We're going to find out what the name of the album. Someone already listening to this is saying the name of the album. Like, come on, y'all. Like, get it together.
Well, that was a Terror Squad album called True
Terror
Story.
Squad album. Yeah, there was.
What was it called?
True Story.
True Story.
That was the first one.
Yeah.
That shit was terrible. I was sad. I was spending that motherfucker. I spent my money on this bitch.
Would you say that's the worst CD you've ever bought?
Yes. Easily.
Mine was Loon's. I bought Loon's debut album. It was a mistake. It was a mistake.
That had like Buyer's Remorse on.
Well, I'm glad that you pick Fire all the time. I
Actually,
thought,
you know what? T.I. versus T.I.P. That was garbage.
it got some bops on there though. It got some bops on there.
For a T.I. album, it's a little lean. It had like 3. That was like.
I don't know if it's his worst album.
Yeah, it's not his worst.
It's probably right. It's probably like a middle of the pack T.I. album for me.
Well, I don't count anything after Paper Trail. Like, I'm not checking T.I.
I mean, his last one is kind of nice.
I heard his current one is bopping too.
It's kind of nice. I fuck with T.I.
Actually,
the one before it.
He like, I'm not about to
listen.
listen.
I had Wraith on there. Hefe. You fuck with Hefe?
He said he ain't listening.
Hey.
I haven't checked for T.I. since Paper Trail.
He still got some songs out here.
So you missed the Trouble Man album. That was a good album.
Yeah, sure.
Definitely enjoyed it. With Trap Back Jumping? Oh, man.
Oh, man. The only T.I. song that I remember from like the last 10 years is that one.
Love Your Life with Rihanna?
No, because that was on Paper Trail.
Not right.
Was it Rich Homie Quan? Young Thug?
That was Live Your Life.
Was on it.
The money.
Yeah.
Hey,
the money.
That's my shit. If it ain't about the money.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, that's interesting.
I don't know. That's Malik stuff. I played it one time, and Malik had the Daniel Tiger. He put it up every time he said turn up. He walk up. I was dying.
Yeah, that's your child.
Right. Let's get into the show on that note. That's your child. Welcome to episode 171 of Technical File, the sports podcast you never knew you needed.
And it's your boy, TIMKINZ, the number 3, a.k.a. Ass Ketchum, a.k.a. Mr. Give It To Me. I'm supposed to be the Phantom of the Opera today. One of my
Long ass, my guy.
Yeah, the Phantom's mask covered half the face.
All right. You the Hamburglar.
Yeah, you definitely are the Hamburglar, fam.
I am the Eric J.
Only known as
the Eric J.
Don't be messing my cues up, fam. I'm Camille, point guard of the crew, the real life Tifa Lockhart, the girl next door. You know, holding it down for all the women who love sports. And normally, this is where you would hear, how can the intro start? And I'm K-Did. Oh, go ahead. The gentleman.
The everyday gentleman.
24/7.
Only known as K-Did.
Better known as
K-Did.
Take that. Ken had to work late. He said he's gonna join us. So if he come in, he come in. But otherwise, it's just us three rocking. Hamburglar, could you tell the people where they could find us on social media in case they were looking for us?
For sure. So you can find us at www.technicalfile.com. Don't forget to put the K on that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you can find us on the Instagram and the Twitter at Technical File. You can also find us on Facebook, Technical File Podcast. Then we have a Facebook group where you can join in with the listeners, fans, and fam at Technical File Pod Overtime.
There it is.
Oh, and then if you want to see if we out here singing or looting and booting, you come on over to YouTube, Technical File.
There you go. The smile been happening for like 3 weeks now. When he said YouTube, you gotta smile. Eric was like, "What is happening?"
Oh, his season coming up.
What season?
You get to be the Grinch. Right around the corner. The scowling motherfuckers from his, he probably do that. Be in his window looking at motherfuckers, judging them and shit.
I don't think he cared that much.
You the only one that twist your mustache.
That is very true. Andy the Hamburglar this week. You twitched your mustache. Yeah. Anywho, this is also normally when Ken comes in. He wants to remind you, like he says every week, man. Share the show. Tell your mama, your auntie, your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your daddy, your pastor, your grocer, anybody. Tell them about Tech File. We don't grow without y'all. People listen to what y'all say, so
appreciate you.
Put people on. Put them on.
Tell them all.
That's crazy. People used to have their own like grocer. Like, I see a dude at the club. Like, how you know him? Oh, he my grocer. Like, it's just a whole class of employment that just went away.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, obviously, we still have like people working at grocery stores, but they aren't a grocer. Like a checkout or a bagger or cart duty, stocker. What is a grocer?
Never mind. I'm not gonna get us off track. I was gonna have a whole like history question, and we went down a rabbit hole. So instead, make sure y'all tell somebody about us. That is what we ask for. Please, it helps us a lot. It's a free way to support the pod.
For sure.
So, did we have a challenge last week?
Nah. He just kind of rolled through. That's when he was talking bad about Brookfield and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was championship Ken last week. That's probably why he ain't here. He took a week off.
The championship hangover is real.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Probably. I give him that.
But where you can find podcasts, you can find us. That includes Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
yes, sir.
Stitcher,
correct.
SoundCloud,
Spotify,
Amazon Music.
For sure.
And then randomly, I'm trying out different places to see where it fits best.
I hear you, because everything else came naturally, so you just got to kind of figure it out.
And for sure again.
iHeartRadio, Himalaya,
Like a player.
Wooshka. And wherever you're listening to this episode right now, while there, make sure that you like, subscribe, rate, and review. 5 stars or better. It helps us, and we appreciate it.
That is a Snapple fact, Jack. All right. We're going to shout out the top.
So you're just going to keep throwing out these old ass sayings? That's what we're doing this week? That's what we on?
Now watch your mouth.
And that's a fact, Jack. You feel like you need to snap on him.
That's why Tim did it for me. I don't know if you was watching them, but he definitely gave you the hand motions for me. I appreciate that, Tim. We're going to shout out the top listening cities from the past week and also our international listeners. So, cities, number 1, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Shout out to the hometown.
Hey.
Number 1 spot. Number 2, we got Chicago, Illinois.
All right, Chicago. Appreciate y'all.
Shout out, we see. Number 3, we got Miami, Florida.
Okay, Miami.
Number 4, we got San Jose, California.
All right, Cali, I see you.
Number 5, Brookfield came back, y'all. Brookfield, Wisconsin.
Y'all came back, even though you can't talk bad about y'all. See, y'all loyal.
We appreciate that, Brookfield.
Y'all here snitching, whatever the reason.
Ken went in on Brookfield for no reason last. It just kept going and going and going. Number 6, we got Upper Marlboro, Maryland.
Upper Marlboro.
It just get caught. Pause. Number 7, we got Picayune, Mississippi.
Picayune. Appreciate you. Really.
For sure.
I like saying Picayune.
Sending love to Picayune.
It's a fun word.
Number 8, we have Seattle, Washington.
All right, Seattle. Appreciate you. 6th man. Or 12th man, I'm sorry.
Number 9, we got Cypress, Texas.
All right, Texas. Always with the love. I'm glad there's a Texas there because I was about to. I'm like, oh, we missed out on Texas.
And number 10, we got Racine, Wisconsin.
Hello, neighbor.
Eric, are you still here or are you just real still?
So I'll see how long it'll take y'all to notice.
I didn't want to cut. No, I was looking at you the entire time I was reading through the cities, but I didn't want to break off my flow. I was watching like, is he gonna move or am I tripping? And I was looking at Tim, but then I realized I got these shades on, so I can't see where I'm looking at. International listeners.
Computer, it's not like he'd be able to tell them.
That is also very true. I mean, you probably would get an idea after a while of seeing which way I'm looking. Because Eric is over here and Tim's over. Anyways, international listeners for the past week included Belgium.
Hello.
That's not an accent. That's
hey.
Hello. You can just say what up if you don't know the accent. And Spain. Shout out to Spain.
Oh, we lost Greece?
Yeah, man. It was Spain and Belgium this past week.
And Barbados. We're on the
Dang, bro.
Took a week off.
Ken probably called her, bro.
Someone got to add her. like get back on it. But no, let's start the show. NFL Pick'em Pool. Shout out to Snow winning a week 6 pool.
Chuck Snow.
Shout out, man. Amongst us Tech File hosts, Ken won. I don't really understand how he does this week after week.
Week in, week out.
But he be out here. I was second. Tim and Eric tied last because there weren't no teams listed.
Oh, shit. I didn't do it. I must not have saved it. Because I be doing it every week. Hell no.
I mean, I was sitting there like I even did the little reminder post on all our social medias and everything.
I thought I was good because, like I said, I do it here and I save it. So I
remember we recorded on Tuesday and there was still Tuesday night football happening. You would have to did it the next day.
Oh, I ain't even thinking about it.
So you gotta listen back to the episode. You would have reminded yourself.
Oh.
Anywho, this week. Well, before we get to this week, I do want to point out the fact that last week almost was completely messed up for the NFL because like 4 different teams had different COVID scares happening. But come Sunday, everything checked out. Negative test. And everybody played. But now I also saw that the Raiders had to send home their offensive line because
the whole line.
The whole line.
I think I saw somebody's like practice squad. Whole practice squad got binged or
that was Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm. The whole damn practice squad.
What y'all doing?
Damn, dog. All 12 of y'all? No, all 11 of y'all. And then they had one on the active roster. Now, what was y'all doing?
Football's a close contact sport.
Damn, so you want to go kick it with the practice squad?
They cool.
Like, I was like, holy shit, a whole practice squad. Like, what? There's 11 slots open.
Hey, I can't.
Somebody out there want it.
But let's make our picks for week 7.
Okay.
Assuming it goes on as
planned.
As planned. If you're also in the pick and pool, make sure you get your phone out. Do the picks along with us so that you don't forget. And a reminder, games lock 5 minutes ahead of the game time. So if you were to happen to miss Thursday night football, you can still get your picks in for Sunday and Monday. And maybe Tuesday, whatever days they play in football because COVID. This week, though, we have the 1-5 New York Giants going up against the 1-4-1 Philadelphia Eagles.
Boy, they're good and terrible.
We just launched the NFC East into the sun.
Like we have to do something about it.
They got to open it up to just do regular season, dog. Because the NFC East has been to hold down the whole damn playoffs. They licking their chop. They're waiting on these niggas to go in there. You can't stop the run. You can't stop the pass. You can't stop shit. Like, man.
I think if you win your division with a losing record, you don't qualify for the playoffs. Like that needs to be.
Man, I mean, when the division leader has a losing record through 6 weeks,
and they lost their whole line.
That has never happened since the merger in 1970. There has never been a team at this point in the season with a losing record leading their division. NFC East, you made some history. How about that? But in this matchup, who y'all got? Y'all got the Giants or y'all got the Eagles?
I can't call it. The Eagles got a good defense, man.
I think I'm going to go with the Eagles.
I'll go with you.
I'll go with the team that has a black quarterback on their roster.
Shit, he may be playing soon.
I believe they're getting Deshaun Jackson back this week, too.
Deshaun.
No, Rager might be back. If not this week, the following week.
As they lose Zach Ertz, like they just can't. They can't.
I think I got it back.
See, they can't have nothing all at the same time.
But when they had both of them, Goddard was taking all the snaps. So when he got hurt, everybody thought Zach Ertz, myself included, because I had him on my team, thought that he was going to get his shit off like he typically do, and he ain't did nothing. And then he got hurt, and now Goddard.
Hey, that's rough.
Yeah, it's a tough
4-2, Buffalo Bills against the 0-6 New York Jets. I think this is the game to get Buffalo back on track.
Yeah,
Okay.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm going to go Buffalo. I'll give you that. They're going to run through the Jets.
I mean, the Jets are just...
Jacksonville is in a race for Trevor.
If the Jets win, Trevor should just stay and take a year off or something. I don't know if you want to play for the Jets, my man. They are bad.
Yeah, Darnold. It's not like Darnold trash. Darnold is not bad.
They've had Joe Flacco at quarterback the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. Because Darnold got hurt, I thought.
Yeah, that's why Joe Flacco's been at quarterback the last 2 weeks.
But I'm just saying, like, they wouldn't necessarily need to draft a quarterback. Like, it's not that Darnold is the problem. So, I would think.
Their whole team is the problem. Their
It's
coach is the problem.
Let's start at the top. Let's go to the management. Because the management had to hire the coach to hire the GM. Well, that was his friend, so he hired him at the same time.
The management didn't hire the coach because the coach came in and got the management fired right away.
Somebody hired that motherfucker.
Yeah, he gone. They already made that decision. Yeah, no, it's been time for Gase to go. Like, I don't know how you take every talented player on the roster and then choose the coach over every last one of them. Like,
I don't
know.
Eventually, like, there's one common denominator there. Like,
the coach. We have the 3-3 Carolina Panthers against the 3-2 New Orleans Saints.
Black quarterback. And Teddy revenge game.
This is gonna be the first game back with Michael Thomas.
Unless he fight another.
I saw he had a.
What?
He said unless he find another teammate because he definitely didn't play the last game.
Because he was ready for the last game, but he got into a fight in practice. Right. So they
but they listed him today with a hamstring injury too.
This nigga here.
So
the owner's pissed.
He was limited, so I'm not even sure if he's coming back this week.
Jeez Louise.
I'm gonna go Carolina.
Yeah, I'll go Carolina. I'm just hoping Teddy and Breeze have a shootout and Kamara, catch all the passes.
The 4-2 Cleveland Browns against the 1-4-1 Cincinnati Bengals.
You know Cincinnati.
That's gonna be a shootout too.
The Browns sounding real defeated to be 4-2.
So question about Baker. So I thought that he got pulled last game. Was that because of his injury or?
It was at that point they were like, this game's probably done. We're gonna take you out and protect you at this point because there's no point for you to still be out here.
He sucked, bro.
Did he suck because like that's just that he sucks or that he was hobbled by the injury? And
they finally played a good team.
They've lost to both of the good teams they play. That's why OBJ was mad. I'm tired of losing to good teams. And they got blown out. They didn't even lose to good teams. They got blown out.
Couldn't move the ball really.
Couldn't do nothing
at all. Period. Baker sitting there staring.
Period.
Running for his
Whoever
life.
clicking the pen.
The whole nine.
Yo, why do your knuckles sound like pins? My goodness. Ooh.
Bro, that sounds.
Ooh, that sounded
old. That sound. Woo, boy, them knuckles sound like they've been through some things.
Knuckles as old as our sayings today.
They don't want to crack no more. Good Lord. Ow, that made my knuckles hurt.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals though.
My hand all tingly now.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I think the Browns. I don't like how they talking. They don't sound like a team that's ready to come back and get a dub. They sound like a team that's supposed to take another L.
Man, listen, it's trade deadline coming up in like a week or two,
bro. I thought it was week 6. Did they move it back?
It's I thought it was like November 3rd or 1st or something like that.
I'm pretty sure it's the 3rd. I think it's voting day, election day.
We need
make sure y'all vote.
I gotta vote. I vote that the Packers use one of these damn 1, 2, or 3 picks since we ain't used this year's. Use next year's, to grab one of these receivers that's available. Since Dallas ain't got no damn quarterback in the team no more. Michael Gallup he's looking like the odd man out right now, but Dallas got 3 of them. They love CeeDee. Let's go ahead and get Gallup out of there.
Here's the thing with that. If the Packers were to make a trade, I don't want them trading for a receiver. I want them to be shoring up their defense because that's where the problem is. They're going to be fine moving the ball on offense. They've already shown that. They ran into an elite defense against the Buccaneers, and after Aaron threw that pick 6, it was done. It was done. But the offense isn't really the problem. I think they're going to bounce back this week. It's the defense. We have a bad defense. It's bad against the run, and now it's bad against the pass too. Like it's just bad. It's a bad defense.
I don't know what the fuck happened to our pass rush.
The Smiths ain't getting through.
Well, Kenny Clark out for a minute, but he was back this game.
Yeah, and I didn't expect the line to get worked on both sides. Offensive line, defensive line. Anyway, we'll talk about the Packers later. It came up in conversation. Eric, were you going Browns or Bengals?
I said Bengals.
Bengals, okay. The 2-4 Dallas Cowboys against the 1-5 Washington football team.
I think I might go with Washington on this one.
I mean, again, when I heard players from the Cowboys criticizing their coaches, calling them totally unprepared, how they don't teach them nothing, they don't have no adjustment senses, like.
Problem is, they lost their whole line, but Washington front 7 is gross, bro. So they ain't gonna be able to pass. They ain't gonna be able to run. And they got these studs over here at wide receiver. Doesn't like these cats are spending waste. They finna be pissed. They're already mad, but they finna be pissed on the field too. Like it's finna be disgusted. They finna probably rack up like 7, 8. I'm finna 7, 8 sacks this Sunday. I'm gonna watch this.
All I'm gonna say is Mike McCarthy getting exposed. That man owes Aaron Rodgers like a third of his earnings since 2009. Shit.
Hey, that's a fact. Like,
that man he was in his basement cooking up new schemes. Like, you need to go back to the basement.
I'm gonna kill him with this one. We're gonna move the receiver instead of a 5-out, because we was good for the 5-out. Instead of a 5-out, we'll do just a bunch trip right.
I mean, Dak was having them go. Andy Dalton ain't Dak. He ain't.
But
Dak.
Again, they lost their line. Like once they started losing their line, then Dak got hurt, and then they lost another lineman, and then they turned around and lost the last lineman.
But you mean to tell me you still think that Dak wouldn't have put up a better performance than what we just saw Andy Dalton do, regardless of that line? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like
Dak would have ran more.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's Andy Dalton ain't Dak. I know the Cowboys getting Vander Esch back, but
call up Miami, see if they want
it ain't the run. It's an air raid. Yeah. Fitzmagic could go over to Dallas. I can see that.
That would be a move I would like.
I can see that happen.
Because Fitz was heartbroken that he got benched. And he was like, it ain't like I wasn't playing bad. He was actually playing super well. Like
he was playing really good. It's actually the worst game he played.
He had 2 good. I mean, he won 2 in a row, and he got like the 7th best QBR in the league. And
he's putting up numbers. I'm saying like the game they sat him down in the 4th was the worst game, even though it was a good game. It was like 190 yards and 2 touchdowns, no picks. But like it was a good game. It was the worst game of the good games.
I get what you're saying.
Like he's having a really good season.
After Tyrod lost his job due to medical malpractice, like it's kind of hard for me to be like, well, you know, like when they use the top 6 pick on a quarterback, like you kind of know where it's headed.
What's gonna happen,
regardless of how you play, pretty much. Like
it was
they show
just
anything at all in practice, like.
And apparently, Tua have been giving them some wow plays. And actually, I mean, this is if you were going to do it away, this is smart to do it. This is what they did with Eli too. When they had Kurt Warner, yep. They were in a playoff position, and they were like, we're going to throw this rookie in. It's time.
Shout out to Tua, too, for being able to play again after a year. Like, man, that was
a brutal injury.
I thought he had Bo Jackson and stuff.
I thought he was done. I thought he was done for him to work his way back and then be a top 6 pick and then turn around and up in usurp?
Yeah, that's the word.
Starting quarterback. Like, I'm excited for him because he's a dual threat quarterback. Like, I'm just hoping he protects himself when he make these runs. But Tua, nice.
Washington, Dallas.
I got Washington.
I know you got Washington. Eric, who you got?
Brown coach. So Washington.
Okay, it's a Washington sweep. The 2-3 Detroit Lions against the 1-5 Atlanta Falcons.
I'm going to Atlanta.
I'm going Detroit.
Black time.
I was like, which one? I got you. The 4-1 Green Bay Packers against the 1-5 Houston Texans.
I'm going Green Bay.
As am I. Again, I think they're going to bounce back this week. Yeah, I think they're going to bounce back.
Oh, hometown versus black quarterback. What you got?
It's always Packers.
He just said Packers. Yeah.
It's going to be a shootout, though.
I mean, the defense.
I'm hoping it's an air show because I like our secondary. I give our secondary a better chance than our, and they ain't got the line that motherfucking Tampa Bay had. So I'll give us a better shot this game.
Yeah, the Packers should win this week.
David Johnson might have 150 yards.
He might, but it's going to be in the L because that's the way that this is going to work out.
150 yards, 2 touchdowns. I was like, where the fuck?
Deshaun Watson might actually end up rushing for 100 yards himself.
120 and 2. I'm like, come on, bro. What's going on here?
And Watson is one of my favorite quarterbacks, black quarterbacks in the league. So I'm definitely looking forward to being able to watch him too. 5-0 Pittsburgh Steelers against the 5-0 Tennessee Titans.
I'm going Pittsburgh.
Yeah, me too. When I saw they lost their left tackle, so I was like, Pittsburgh should roll on to 6-0. Should be a good game.
It's gonna be a good game if they can. But they got the line in the defense. They got the linebackers to stop Henry.
See, but Devin Bush tore his ACL too.
But I mean, that defense, that front seven,
it's an elite
phenomenal.
defense.
So either or, like they have the speed and they got the man. That's gonna be a good battle to see them. But I got Pittsburgh. I feel like they got the better defense.
Yeah, they do.
Last week or the week before when Derrick Henry had that 90-yard run. That was
last week.
That was his past weekend because I was watching it when it happened, and what was crazy was when he broke through, and he had the Texans behind him. I didn't realize how fast he was running because he looked so effortless. Like it was just like he wasn't even trying.
He'd be choo-chooing.
I thought he was already at max speed, and then he just accelerated, and I was like, "What?
Motherfucker, be moving."
He outran the court
240 pounds ain't supposed to move that fast.
No, it's not.
That's what I said. Watching him in college, I'm like, bro, this shit ain't fair. That's all I was getting when he got to the league.
I always go back to his high school stats. Like, I can imagine somebody that just running over defensive lineman Tim size and shit. Like,
he's a speed rusher.
That big. Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's gonna be fun watching him against the Steelers, but
that's gonna be a good matchup. Wait, he might truck TJ. TJ might.
If you get in the way, that's a risk you take when you're playing against. But yeah, Tennessee's defense isn't that great, so.
No, Claypool will have a game.
Did y'all see what Vrabel did? I don't know if because they played twice in 5 days, so I don't remember which game exactly it was. But Vrabel took a penalty with 40 seconds left to conserve because he didn't have or either conserve a timeout or because he didn't have a timeout, and that wound up functioning as a timeout, and they were able to I forgot what they, but either way it was clock management. He purposely took he sent one of his guys out to get 12 men on the field penalty to stop the
in
clock.
order to stop being aware.
Chestnut checkers.
But it wasn't under 2 minutes when it happened, so it didn't have a 10-second runoff, did it?
I don't know.
Or was it on defense?
He's on defense.
Yeah. There we go.
Because, you can't, 5-0 Seattle Seahawks against the 4-2 Arizona Cardinals.
Another air show. Them men better be Man, listen. Oh, that's gonna be an exciting ass game. The Bobby Wagner chasing Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray runs like
He ski daddling dog.
They said he runs like a. They say he runs like a toddler that just took your phone. Like
that's a fact. And
Badass baby. Here we go. That motherfucker be sliding. Fuck out. Hold on.
And he run with the football out. Like he don't like he is playground like taking off running. He probably your height.
I'm pretty sure he's 5'.
I mean, he listed at like 5'9", so there's almost no chance that he's actually that tall. Obligatory Russell Wilson code for
Cam for sure.
I got nothing to pour out, so
I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. I don't think that.
Wait, who home?
The Cardinals.
DeAndre Hopkins, Larry Fitzgerald.
What about him?
He's just saying that's who they defense got to try to stop. But
oh, you heard that talking about Antonio Brown?
Oh yeah, we've been talking, but I didn't even bring it up because we talked about that.
He's redacted
before the season go.
You're talking about redacted?
No, we mentioned that before. We were like, Russ wants AB back. Like that's not new information. Like
it's just
he's been very.
And also, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, he's been very open about that for a while now, saying I don't really care too much about what else he got. I'll watch him.
He can stay at the crib.
I'm trying to win. Tim, who do you got though?
Seahawks. I'm going with Seattle.
The 1-5 Jacksonville Jaguars against the 1-4 Los Angeles Chargers.
I'm going the Chargers. This is a free fall.
Like coach.
Yeah, I'm going Chargers as well. 5-1 Kansas City Chiefs against the 2-3 Denver Broncos.
Like quarterback.
Kansas City.
Denver's.
Kansas City just signed Le'Veon Bell.
I remember.
We sure he's still good?
We'll find out.
He gonna be good in that offense. I'd put money down on that.
He'll be the backup though, but they're talking about he may be in the goal line situations because Clyde has had so many, like 9 carries at the goal situations, and
he's trying to protect his little guy.
I mean, they can't score at the goal situation from their running back out from him, so Bell might take those goal line.
Didn't they have another running back?
Damian Williams.
There you go. Wasn't it?
And he's gotten his touchdowns from the goal-to-goal situation. So Le'Veon might take that up. But I'm gonna go with Denver in this one.
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting.
You know what? Actually, no, I'm going Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm
that offense is crazy, but they
Wait, did you forget that their offense is crazy for a minute?
No, because they have struggled against teams with really good defenses.
Who is going to No, you're overthinking it. Just what's about to happen. They're about to air it out again. Like it's not about to be pretty for Denver.
Chiefs by 30.
And it's a divisional game.
It's not about to be pretty. The 3-3 San Francisco 49ers against the 2-3 New England Patriots. The Patriots looked bad last week.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with
Cam. I'm gonna say Cam and them though. You better not let me down, Cam. Eric, I don't think I need to ask. Black quarterback.
Oh yeah, I said already. Yeah.
The 4-2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the 3-2 Las Vegas Raiders.
Never rated.
I'm going Tampa Bay.
Their defense is bound.
Black adjacent coach.
The Raiders got a really good offensive line though.
It might not be intact. We don't know what's about to happen with these COVID tests.
That's right. They just sent the whole fucking line. I'm going Tampa Bay.
Now I believe that it was one of the linemen who is going to be gone for sure, but the other 4 might have a chance to play. Yet and still.
Yeah.
I saw what Tampa Bay defense could do last week.
Oh, just real quick to double back. Kyler Murray's listed at 5'10".
About 5'8". Okay. And then Monday Night Football. The 5-1 Chicago Bears against the 4-2 Los Angeles Chargers.
Rams.
My fault. Rams.
Yeah, everybody in the same neighborhood and shit. These damn Bears, bro.
This will be the game that tells me if the Bears are actually good. Because I still don't really understand.
And they kind of getting these Packer wins from last year.
Yep.
But,
I feel weird saying the Bears, but
I'm going to go with the Rams.
I'm going to go with the Bears. I'm going to keep them right down here at the bottom, though, for this low confidence ratings. Make sure y'all set what y'all think the total points are going to be for Monday Night Football.
Picks are saved. I'm there this week.
And save those picks. And let's move on.
On and on.
So we have the rumored plot for the new Space Jam movie. I'm going to read it to y'all. And y'all tell me if this plot sounds entertaining to you. Like, are you looking forward to watching this? During a trip to the Warner Brothers studio, NBA superstar LeBron James and his son accidentally get trapped within a world that contains all of Warner Brothers' stories and characters. Under the control of a malfunctioning, all-powerful force named Algae, played by Don Cheadle. With the help of Bugs Bunny, LeBron must navigate through a never-before-imagined world filled with iconic movie scenes and characters as they reassemble the Looney Tunes to rescue his lost son. Now to get back home, LeBron and the Tunes have to unravel Algae's mysterious plan and win an epic basketball game against digital, gamified super versions of the NBA and WNBA's biggest stars as the entire world watches.
Are you sure it's not AIG?
It doesn't matter, fam. John Cheadle's character. Do you think the plot's interesting or not?
If Bronny is in it, I'm interested.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Why does Bronny push the needle for you?
I'm just saying, if it's really Bronny, if Bronny is the lost son in the movie, like then I'm interested.
But I'm asking, like, why does that?
No, I'm kidding.
I was like, why does that change it for you?
I'm interested to see if it is Bronny though. Like that would make it somewhat like, oh, can a kid that? But I don't know. Regardless, I'm gonna see it. So
that's how I felt.
This little synopsis.
I think it's fun to think that they'll be redoing iconic movie scenes and whatnot, so that could be kind of funny. Tim's looking like, nah.
And I'm glad it's a rehash of the first one. Like they actually came up with a new story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's why I want to see it. I'm like, oh, it's not a continuation or a soft reboot or nothing like that. It's like, okay, it's his own movie. So I'll check it out.
Well, actually, technically, have they named it that yet, or was that just like the working title?
Name what?
Like, is it actually Space Jam 2, or like the?
It's called Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Oh, okay. So it's not even.
To give it its own life.
So it's not even a sequel. Like it's just
a different
multiverse,
different
universe.
Yeah.
I do hope there's a Michael Jordan cameo in this movie, though. That would really set off the movie for me.
If I know Michael Jordan, that's not happening.
Hey, we don't know what Michael Jordan goes. Right, I'm saying he's different in older age. It's interesting how age can do that to you.
Mike's trying to get back now.
Talking to someone,
might give him the rub.
He might be I've never seen Jordan this personable before in my life.
He actually weighing in on political stuff. Like
yeah, he's making donations. You say he talking?
Once he retired, he shut up. Ain't nobody heard from Jordan.
Cause he an owner.
You just see him in videos talking shit. Busting somebody ass. You better Google me.
That's one of those things though, where it's like I kind of wish that Giannis could work with Jordan. Like he can't because conflict of interest. But like he was working with Kobe on some things, and I was like really looking forward to seeing him continuing to work with Kobe because I think a lot of what he can add to his game is in an area that both of them like completely thrived in. So
I'm gravitating towards like Giannis should be more of a big than an initiator. Like he should be a big that can initiate, but I think he needs to hone like his big man skills.
I'm talking about getting him like in between game.
Well, no. That's what I'm saying. Like instead of like trying to stretch his game out, like refine what you can do around the basket. Like if you're
like Marcus Aldridge, like
I'm just saying, like he needs post moves. He needs to be able to do something down there other than run, jump, and dunk.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Yeah, like instead of like trying to create a jump shot out of thin air, because
But he has some decent post move. Like he shoots a pretty good, like he shoots a better mid range.
Moves down there. Like he can't, like, you can't throw it to him on the block and then like give you.
No, you can't. He needs a post game. He needs an in between game. I think that keying on him being a better 3-point shooter was foolish in retrospect, because I think that he'd be most effective with a better in between and post game. But alas, the World Series is going on.
Mookie, man.
Mookie Betts.
Not low-key, high-key.
I was gonna say that yesterday. Like, I'm cheering for the Dodgers off the strength of Mookie Betts alone. Like, it's because of Mookie.
The difference maker, man. He truly is.
I meant to mention this last week, but I was definitely rooting for Houston just for the chaos factor.
No, I definitely wanted Houston to lose. I definitely wanted them to lose.
But the Rays pitching staff, man, is cold, bro. They're so cold. But Mookie and them, they took game one.
Did we post that? I think Mookie and Kershaw like combined made more money this year than the Rays whole team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They had like 28 million compared to their 28 million, or 26 million or some shit like that. Like, yeesh. But that's how the Rays are. They've always been in small markets, so they've always been a small market team. They have to piece their team and draft their team. Like, that's just what happens when you ain't got no shared salary cap or you ain't got no salary cap in baseball. Like, motherfuckers go out.
Is Cody Bellinger all right? Is his shoulder okay?
Motherfucker hit a home run last night.
No, he injured himself after he hit the home run, though.
No. He hit the game-winning home run for Game 7, and then dislocated his shoulder celebrating. Then the Game 1 of the World Series hit a home run for a game-leading home run. The go-ahead home run for the game.
So he all right. Okay.
Like, the game breaker. Like, yeah, no, he fine. He's perfectly fine. Him and Mookie clowning, dog.
Okay, he good. Okay. I understand. Let's see.
Like, that adds to the legend of Cody Bellinger. How you dislocate your arm celebrating and then turn around and hit a home run first game of the World Series? What the fuck?
Pop that mug back in. Some icy hot. He called Shaq. Got him some icy hot. He was ready to go. NBA coaching hires. We had some new hires.
There's a lot of new hires.
Stan Van Gundy. I guess it's relative. I guess 3 hires since we've last talked is a lot relatively. Stan Van Gundy agreed to a multi-year deal to become the head coach of the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans believe that SVG is going to be able to be a great teacher with this roster. I'm thinking that they're leaning very heavily on what he was able to do in Orlando with young Dwight Howard. They believe in his history of building strong defensive teams. And, Van Gundy wasn't a bad coach. He was a bad executive, which did him in Detroit. He was terrible as an executive. But
he drove that team to what it was. Shit.
That's why they are where they are now. Just average. Maybe
ain't no average.
Like, we finally get a good NBA color analyst, and they take him right away from us.
That is also very true. Going to miss him in the booth.
Like, take Jeff. I'm tired of Jeff.
Don't know what Jeff.
Hopefully Mark Jackson is his lead assistant. Because get them motherfuckers off my television.
Stan Van Gundy's still going to be on Twitter getting them tweets off, though. Never mind. Did y'all hear Joe Buck and Troy Aikman making the comments about the flybys? They thought they know they were on a hot mic.
Yeah. Like, I guess.
Wait, Tim didn't hear it. So they didn't know that they were being recorded, and the audio came out, and they were watching the NFL game to fly by over the top, and they're pretty much like, "What a waste of money!" Like, your taxpayer dollar. Yeah, that's what I just. Are you listening to me?
No, because I wasn't sure exactly what the entire stories are, but I realized that I had read something like a snippet of it on Twitter. Like, I had seen it, but I didn't read into it. And as you were talking about, like, oh yeah, flybys.
All right. How do y'all like the Stan Van Gundy hire, though, for the Pelicans? Y'all think he's going to be able to work some magic with this roster? Get Zion out here playing?
I mean, historically, he's been a culture builder. Like, I feel like that's what they need. They need, like you said, like, they need a defensive identity. Like, defense is obviously never Alvin Gentry's strong suit. They have a lot of young players that have defensive potential, but they obviously haven't met that yet. So, I mean, like I think Stan is a good coach. Like we said, like he's a terrible executive, but he doesn't have personnel power here. So if he's just a coach, I think that he should work wonders. Like he's the right type of coach to bring in for Zion's formative years. Whether he's going to be the coach to take them over the top, like when they're ready to compete, I don't know. But for now, like I think he's the perfect type of hire to make.
Tim, you got anything to add, or you agree?
No, I pretty much agree. Like, if he just comes in and do the player development and builds them into a nice defensive team, and like help develop the players into what they, at least majority of their potential or some of their potential and shit. Like, they got a nice young core that if they fulfill half their potential, they consider like fringe all-stars type shit. So, like, if he just comes in and help develop them, like, including Zion, then yeah, should it be a job well done? Because I don't think anybody expect him to take them to a championship. I think they come in expecting him to help build the squad, and then they'll hire somebody else. So they just want him to set the like kind of set a little bar, start.
I don't know if they will replace him if they start doing well though. Like if he builds it, I think they'll let him continue until he proves that he can't.
Right. Think of it like Mark Jackson in Golden State, or I don't want to say Jason Kidd here, but like Scott Skiles was always the type of coach where like you bring him in when you pretty much bottom out or you're like on the rebuilding track to kind of build up your program. Like you need a culture reset. You need like somebody to come in and break down like the fundamentals. Like here's how we become a winning basketball team. Like sometimes those guys are able to transition into like the years that they become, you know, contenders or pseudo contenders, and sometimes like they top out at that level. Mike Budenholzer is probably like the best example of that type of culture. I'm just saying, like you know, building a culture, teaching them how to win. Like, but if you can't be like adaptable in playoffs, that's when you have to bring in somebody else. Brett Brown in Philadelphia is another example of a coach like that.
But that's what I'm like. I don't think they expect for him to win the championship. For him to reset it and kind
But I mean, like he'll have every chance to, you know, like. Yeah. But we'll see 5 years down the road where we're at.
Speaking of 5 years, Ty Lue signed a 5-year deal with the Clippers to be their next head coach. As a reminder, in case you forgot, he was an assistant with the Clippers this past season, so he was able to see up close and personal what went wrong, and impressed ownership with some of the ideas that he thought he could bring to the table. Ownership considers him an elite coach. Like they really think he can get the job done. So how do y'all feel about that hire?
I like it. Honestly, I feel like he was the best coach in the market.
Just overall, like any option?
Like if any option that they had, like first of all, nobody else on the market had championship rings. Like I don't know why his championship in Cleveland gets discounted, whereas none of the other coaches like LeBron's had that he's won with have had the same kind of. They're not looked at the same way. Like
that is true.
Spoelstra is like one of the best coaches in the league, and like people don't discount the rings that he's won because he had LeBron. And like no, like LeBron's been what 10 finals, like and he's won 4 of them. So. Obviously, there were 6 years where his teams didn't win a championship. So, like, when you do win a title, like, that should still mean something. And, like, first of all, he meant – what'd you say?
I said don't discount it because he had LeBron.
Right. Because
first of all, every other coach.
Right. Yeah. Every coach is going to have great players on their team. So
that's how you win a championship.
Exactly. And it's not like he doesn't make adjustments. Like, he's a very – adaptable coach. Like he kind of adapts to the team that he is coaching.
Must be nice.
Because obviously, like the first year he was in Cleveland, that team was different from the team that he had the last year in Cleveland. And I think that the only reason that he left Cleveland is one, obviously, like LeBron left, but he didn't want to go through rebuilding. So it's not necessarily that, you know, he was just a shitty coach. Like he wasn't on the same page as front office.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in LA. He was the Lakers' first choice last year, and the only reason that he didn't wind up coaching that team is because they tried to lowball him. So,
which goes back to your initial point.
Yeah, like get that man his respect. And apparently that's what the Clippers did. They knew what they had already. He's a former player, so he has a certain cachet among players that are like, well, you ain't played, so you don't know. You know, like sometimes that's the difference. You know, like it gets buy-in.
And he got a ring now.
He has a ring, so he has that respect. He has a he's like one of the most well-connected former players in the league. Like he was just like friends with everybody. He's played with everybody. Like he was teammates with Shaq and Kobe. He was teammates with Michael Jordan. He was teammates. Who was he that? I'm blanking on people, but he's coached.
I mean, but he got cool because of that.
Yeah, I mean, he coached under Doc Rivers in Boston, so he had the big three and Rondo. He coached with him in the Clippers, so he had Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. Like he has relationships with a lot of great players that have come through the league in the last 20 years, which again like helps you on a team that has poor chemistry and has a disconnect between their stars and their role players. Like who better than a former role player that has good relationships with star players?
He played with T-Mac too.
There you go. Like pretty much every great player from 2000 to 2015, like he's either played with or coached.
That's fair.
Yeah. The Pacers, or go ahead.
My last point was just gonna be like, and that's just like on the personal side, like he still is like his schemes and like his out of timeout stuff, like all that stuff is also top notch. So I'm not saying he's the next Greg Popovich or anything like that, but he is a championship winning coach. So like I think that it should have been obvious to anybody that
he would be a good hire.
He would be a good hire.
Best hire. The Pacers hired Toronto Raptors assistants. So y'all know I can't say Nate's last name. Bjorken?
I heard it pronounced, but I need to look at it.
I've heard it pronounced once, and the person pronounced it wasn't sure.
I think the B might be silent.
It's not.
It could be, but it's not.
No.
So is it Borkman?
Bjorken.
The J might be silent.
I can't find it in the
Borgren.
I think it's Bjork. Like like the singer Bjork. Yeah, like Bjork. I don't see it on here.
For sure.
Well, they have a new head coach as well.
Bjork.
He's been he started coaching with Nurse back in the G League, came up with him, was a head coach himself in the G League, assistant coach for the Suns, for the Raptors. Like, he has some coaching experience underneath them. And then I read like his introductory press conference notes and whatnot. And I'm like, again, I was like, oh, a coach who's talking about adjusting and
adaptability.
Man, and he was saying, like, I think the key to defense is switching it up all the time. He was like, maybe after 8-0 run, you switch it up. Maybe after a timeout, you switch it up. Maybe after a quarter, you do. He's like, you never know, but I think that's a key. And I was like, wow. Look how risque you're willing to change all the time. I don't know what that is like. But I could see it, like, if he's anything like Nick Nurse, now that Nick Nurse is starting his own coaching tree, which is kind of cool to think about. Pacers should have a good coach there.
I mean, like from the beginning of their coaching search, like it seemed like they've been trying to gravitate towards like the more innovative types. Like they're trying to modernize their offense specifically, which obviously was a criticism of Nate McMillan. When he was there, like he played a retro brand of basketball. It won them some games, but like it wasn't sustainable and it wasn't going to get you to that next level. So depending on what they do with their roster, like I think that they should at least like be interesting to see like how they kind of modernize their game.
Yeah. So what is it? Just the Rockets and the Thunder left for looking for head coaches?
Yeah, Rockets and the Thunder I think are the last two. I know the Rockets they were said to have been down to their last three. So Jeff Van Gundy, so Jeff Van Gundy, John Lucas Jr., I guess, like not the third, but the one that used to coach like the 76ers back in the day. And then Stephen Silas, who's an assistant for Dallas. I think he was an interim coach in Charlotte at one point, son of Paul Silas.
Oh, I never knew that was his son.
So essentially, how it was broken down on some podcast I was listening to is that like John Lucas is already on the Rocket staff. He already has a really good relationship with Harden and Westbrook. Jeff Van Gundy is who the ownership wants. And then Stephen Silas is kind of like the in-between where he has a good relationship with players and he's kind of like the tactical coach that they kind of want to get. So essentially, it's gonna come down to who does James Harden want at the end of the day. So if they can get him to buy in on Jeff Van Gundy, then that'll probably be the move they make.
Well, Daryl Morey ain't gonna be in Houston no more. He stepped down as the GM effective the 1st of November. He said after he got back from the bubble, you know, he was just reflecting on his time with the Rockets. You know, he felt like it was time to do other things. He wants to be able to hang out with his kids more and just see what other things could be out there for him.
Just say he's had a year to kind of work on that. Because as soon as he hit send on that tweet about Hong Kong, that dude was gone.
Man, I keep telling you, I forgot that was the season. I truly forgot it was that. It was the same damn year. I'm like, I completely forgot. Nobody else forgot it, clearly.
This is the longest.
I forgot that The Last Dance was just this summer. Like, that feels like it was forever ago.
Man, that was for the beginning of quarantine, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 6 months ago.
That was fun. Last Dance was fun.
That was a great social experience.
Social media bonding moment.
Yeah. That was one of those things. That was real cool. But how did y'all feel about him? I mean, we already talked about how y'all felt about stepping down. That was coming.
I'm curious as to what they'll do with the stars on this team. That's what I'm kind of curious to find out. Like,
depends on the coach.
Does it?
To a certain degree. You can't hire a coach who can't scheme. Like, you have to figure something out. One thing that Morey always did was take a shot. I think that's probably ingrained in the Houston's culture at this point because that's what's gotten them where they are. And I can't imagine that they would bring a coach in that doesn't think they can either do something with what they have already or think they're a couple pieces away, like we can get this and this and this and this. But like when you're getting interviewed for the job, you got to tell them what you gonna do. So they would know already when they make the hire, like, is this roster as currently constructed going to maximize, what we're going to be able to do.
I don't think that you trade James Harden unless James Harden says he wants to get traded.
I agree.
And what Russell Westbrook, I don't know if you can trade him at this point even if you wanted to.
43.
That sounds bad, but like being realistic,
yeah, that's real. I mean,
he's
a
tough fit on any team. He makes a ton of money.
Even though he's still got to get his 30 shots.
I will say 30 what? I will say
it's in his defense. Like, he was good, like, right before the shutdown. Like,
they started clicking.
Yeah. Like, they had a really good run, probably,
like,
a month or two.
And to be fair, in the bubble, it wasn't a smooth, like, transition into the bubble for Westbrook.
Yeah. He had COVID, and then
Then he got hurt.
He got hurt.
And he was yelling at babies. So, you know.
It was a real problem for a lot of people, man.
One last thing about, like, Daryl Morey, like, I've seen people, like, kind of trying to take their victory laps, like, oh, he never won a title, like, did all that analytic shit, and it didn't work. And it's like, first of all, Houston was always in contention for a title. So, like, the fact that they were contenders for, 10 years straight, like, they were the only team that really gave the Warriors at their peak a run, like.
Twice.
And Rockets fans are always going to wonder what if.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, all you can really ask for is to be a contender. Like, and the fact that you were able to sustain that through, 7 different roster iterations? Like, like, you had 3 different co-stars for James Harden, like, cycle through. You had team, like, coaches come through. Like, there was a lot of turnover, and, I mean, part of that is just, like, his philosophy. But, like, he was always trying. He was always doing something. So, like, no, it didn't manifest into a title, but I feel like that's, like, he put them in a position to win a title when he had a superstar in his prime. So, like, I think that's
good on him.
I think he did a good job overall. Like,
and
he really did change the way basketball's played. Like, everybody adopted the small model. Yeah. Or just, like, shoot a lot of threes and get to the rim and get to the free throw line. Like, that's everybody's shot distribution at this point.
It was funny when I saw that Van Gundy got hired with the Pelicans. I was just reading more about Van Gundy. And I forgot that he also was, like, an early advocate for that style of basketball. Like when I was like, I forgot at the time that playing Lewis at the 4 was actually, people were like, why are you playing him at the, like, he's too thin, he's too little, he can't do it. And meanwhile, Van Gundy is like, right, he's like, I got a dominant paint presence, like he gonna shoot around that, like that just makes sense. But yeah,
it's amazing how far we've come in like
right.
Let alone like 10 years, but like honestly, like the last 5 years is specifically like.
Because then the Warriors came and started switching stuff up to everybody. Was like, wait.
Yeah, court.
The small ball thing here. It has some legs. But Tim, will you talk more about what Iowa's football team did? Or I should say former Iowa football players.
Yeah, I seen it. It was a Yahoo Sports article, and I was just like, this is kind of random, but it's wild. And I thought it was interesting. But several former Black Iowa football players sent a letter to the university earlier this month demanding $20 million and that the longtime Iowa coach Kirk Ferentz, assistant coach Brian Ferentz, and athletic director Gary Barta be fired over allegations of racial discrimination during their time with the program, according to the Des Moines Register's Chad Liskow. Oh, excuse me. Among the demands for the 3 firings and $20 million in compensation, the players demanded the creation of a permanent Black male senior administrator within the athletic department, mandatory anti-racist training for staff members, a board of advisors with Black players and anti-racist professionals to oversee the program, and tuition waivers for any Black athlete who didn't graduate, according to the Des Moines Register. Iowa President Bruce Harrell, who announced his plans to retire early this month, responded to the players in a statement on Sunday and rejected their demands. So he said, and I quote, "We appreciate some former athletes sharing insights on the experience while at the University of Iowa. Many of their concerns have been reviewed and addressed, and to be clear, any student athlete that has left the university and did not obtain their degree is welcome to return, and we are here to support them. There are several demands outlined in the letter, and we are proud of the efforts made to date. We have a path forward that includes ideas and recommendations from many current and former students aimed at making the University of Iowa a more inclusive and better place to learn, grow, and compete as an athlete. However, the university rejects the demands for money and personnel changes." And I was like, I think that when I first read it, my initial reaction, I was like, y'all not getting no money out there, motherfuckers. That was my initial reaction. I was like, messed up by asking money for him. I like, but anything else I can see within the realm of being plausible because of what may have transpired, or if anybody else wants to come up and speak out or anything like that. I was like, but when they demanded the $20 million, I was like, I think that's where they killed him. Like, that's where you killed it all at.
Yeah.
And you're not getting 3 white men fired. Unless you got a smoking gun.
Listen, playoff baseball is so different. So the Dodgers were down 0-5 in the 5th. They got 2 runs. It was 2 outs. They got 2 runs. Then they had 2 on. And they smoked it. So it's 5-2, but it's like, I was looking at the screen like, are they gonna tie this up right now? Like, for real? Like, just but no, it didn't happen.
Stranding the runners.
Playoff baseball is just stressful. Like,
it really is.
Even when you don't have a rooting interest, it's just like, oh my God.
Changes in a heartbeat.
WWE Hell in the Cell is this weekend.
Yeah.
Tim, can you give us a 1-minute pitch about why we should watch Hell in the Cell this weekend? Or do you not think it's been worth to watch?
Man, I don't know about this card, bro. I don't know about this card, boss. Because I don't think...
They haven't even filled it out yet.
No, they still got SmackDown to fill out because the Raw Go Home Show didn't fill out shit. They didn't fill out nothing. They was too busy having a season premiere.
The only thing
I'm like, y'all got a pay-per-view on Sunday. I think they had a whole 4 matches, maybe 3.
They got, as we're recording, there are 4 known matches for this pay-per-view.
And probably ain't no tag team title match because ain't nobody came and challenged New Day because they was too busy fighting Sheamus.
So this is skippable, in your opinion?
Damn, what match would I want to watch on this month?
Randy
Oh,
Orton.
I
You
think
want to
that's
watch?
interesting.
I quit match for sure with Roman and Jay.
That's what I was
They
gonna say. The only thing
they gonna put
interesting
on a
going
show.
on right now is Roman. Like
Sasha and Bailey probably gonna put on the show.
They in the Hell in a Cell for the title.
We've seen McIntyre and Orton. I'm done with them. I'm tired of them. We can go ahead and be done with them. But they'll probably put on a decent match.
In the cage, you know, it'll be a good match in the cage, probably.
So, I mean, them three, cool. I don't want to see Elias versus Jeff Hardy. He had a whole last concert, too.
Wait, so, did y'all see that clip I posted of John Cena's rap performance on Raw?
Yes. It was on Twitter, right?
Yeah. And John
John
Cena was a real life rapper.
Yeah,
like, I know he put out an album, but like he actually has
was serious about
somewhat decent stage presence. Like,
yeah.
A little clunky, but like in the John Cena kind of way. Like
I mean, his character freestyle most of the time. Like it was interesting.
I mean, he just talking in rhymes, like he wasn't really.
I mean,
ain't that what rap is?
I mean, he didn't do it to a beat though. He wasn't to a rhythm.
They got battle rap, don't they?
Yeah, they really do. He was out there doing his battle raps every week.
Ain't no beats, ain't no rhythms, ain't no
smacking them.
Rhymes.
He had no cadence, he had no flow. He just talked.
Hey, battle rappers, they be
Sometimes they have a conversation with you.
That is true. That is true.
I get it.
Vice TV has officially renewed Dark Side of the Ring for a third season. That series is Vice TV's most successful series in the history of that network.
Hey, even more than Jesus and Mary?
I mean, Dark Side of the Ring is...
It combines wrestling, so wrestling fans are interested, but it also has like that, I won't say true crime, but yeah, it's kind of like true, so it's going to attract people who don't really watch wrestling because they're interested in like these mostly tragic stories. Yeah, like it's...
I wonder if that's translated to anybody like starting to watch WWE though.
Maybe they will get I can see them getting the network and watching old stuff.
Oh, see the old matches of these people.
I mean, get a little free trial and be like, I just want to see, you know,
Eddie Guerrero. Watch the thing on the Road Warriors. Let me see.
Let me just go back and see some old footage.
I feel like I don't know, like if you've never been exposed to wrestling before, like you're probably gonna look to where it's free first. Like I know the network, but the network that involves like work. Like, but if you like stumble
you get a free
upon,
trial,
like, but if you just like stumble upon like USA Network on a Monday night, like
or YouTube,
I saw Dark Side of the Ring. Yeah, I guess viewing habits have changed.
Yeah. The NBA and the NBPA reportedly extended not reportedly, they did extend the right to terminate the CBA through the 30th. From everything I've read, they're pretty confident that they'll be able to work something out. So,
they've also been saying that for like 4 months now. Like,
yeah, it is true.
I'm not worried, but if it was as close as they claim that it is, like it would have been done. I feel like so, but I'm still confident.
In case anybody was curious, the bubble cost the NBA millions of dollars, but it still helped them not lose like $1.5 billion. So you got that.
It saved them $1.5 billion.
Even though they spent like $180 million.
That's why they was able to give motherfuckers holidays and shit. No, I don't want to hear nothing about no damn salary cap.
No, the cap is gonna take a hit for sure. They still lost money, but
it may not. Like it seems like what they're negotiating at this point is like how to artificially prop it up. It's like more from what I've heard, like more than likely they're going to come in line where they thought the salary cap is going to come in line where they thought it was going to be. Like so with the projections that they've been sharing with teams, like that's probably where it's going to be. So it's not like the inburst of the cap spike isn't going to happen. Now in subsequent years, like those projections might be lower, but I don't think that it will necessarily go down at any point. It just won't rise like at the same rate that it would normally based on like what their income is.
That makes sense. we'll keep an eye on that, see what happens. Hopefully something happens soon. LaMelo Ball, he signed a shoe deal with Puma. We don't know the details of the deal, but reports indicate that it might be a 9-figure deal for the youngest Ball brother. So that's what's up. Ball in the Family is also back, in case anybody else watches that on Facebook. The new season premiered this past week. They even asked LeVar in the season opener. They were like, "How do you feel now about the boys if they don't stay with Triple B's?" Because before he was pretty much like, "You disloyal, you don't exist to me if you ain't here with the family. Like if you ain't over here, then F y'all." But when this season started, he was more like, "Hey, I gotta respect my son's wishes because they're on the brand. Not on the brand doesn't mean that they don't, love the family. They're gonna make their own decisions. But I just hope that they end up realizing that it's better to have the whole enchilada instead of a piece of the pie." And I know I've been saying old phrases, but I didn't make that one up. That's exactly what he said. The whole enchilada instead of a piece of the pie. That's what he said.
Sound like that's what he got. They giving him a piece. They keeping the rest of the show. They're like, hey, listen, Sharon is Karen now. Sharon is Karen on national TV.
But if the pie is 0, then I would much rather. I mean, if the enchilada is 0, then I'd much rather have just a piece of the pie. Like,
true.
Again, 9 figures versus buckets.
Yeah.
See, I can talk old too.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Any blow the whistles this week?
No, ma'am.
All right, let's get into the top 5. Tech Top 5. Last week's Tech Top 5 was biggest stories from the NBA bubble. I won last week. Thank y'all for voting for me. I appreciate it.
Congrats.
You disloyal mother.
This week we are doing the best WTECK radio songs. So the song had to have played as a radio segment. So if you've been listening for a while, we used to just randomly play songs every so often if it was conversational. If it wasn't on the radio, if it wasn't official, we could not use it on this list. So, Tim, would you kick us off with your top 5 from WTECK Radio?
Sure. Number 5, I got Moneyball by Dame Dollar. Number 4, I got I Wonder by Leo Rush. Number 3, I got Jump On It by...
Hey!
Number 2, I Smoked, I Drank, Roy Jones.
I'm supposed to stop. I can't.
Anyway. And number 1, I got Drowned by Victor Oladipo and Trey Songz.
You love that song.
Dog, that shit was cold. I like it.
All right, so 5, I've got Dame Dollar with I Rest My Case. That'll be the second time he dissed Shaq. 4, Roy Jones, I Smoked, I Drank. 3, Dame, Moneyball. 2, Leo Rush, I Wonder. And 1, Ophelia with Shikusi.
Oh, you really love Shikusi.
Shikusi is my shit.
That's what I'm thinking of. Dame's song with Marvin back.
What did you say?
When they were going back and forth?
Going back and forth, that his response to Bagley. That's the Dame song I was thinking of. He lit his ass up on that.
He did lit his ass up. He did light his ass up.
There's been some good ones on the radio.
Dame really is Hall of Fame Dame. Like,
I'm telling you, Hall of Fame Dame.
Dame don't miss.
He's the realest pretty much when he comes out with his music stuff. So I want to give some honorable mentions before I go, since we don't have Ken's list. Justin Bieber, Available. I forget who produced it. JaVale McGee produced that one. That's right. I think, although I had Lil Wayne, Kobe, because Lil Wayne floated on that. Also had Nas, Blunt Ashes. So a lot of the songs that were made by actual artists that had like an NBA player behind, I was like, that feel like cheating. So I'm gonna try not to necessarily do that. Like, it was on the radio, but like I wanna think about songs that, I didn't know too much about already. Well, I lied. Also thought about putting the All-Star Game National Anthem 3-peat, because that's just one of the funniest. It's not good. But listening to all 3 of those anthems was one of the funniest segments I think we've ever had with the radio. So
boy, they gotta relax on these singers.
Number
I forgot
5.
about Carl Lewis. God damn.
Yeah, the Carl Lewis. Yeah, he had a triple feature, I believe, when we did Carl Lewis on the radio. Number 5, I'm going with Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Outstanding. I've always loved the way that song feels.
Wait, time out. Sorry. How do you get the how do you get that part of the national anthem wrong? Like, I'm still like flabbergasted.
Nope.
When you start off bad, there's you already know what you're about to get. But yeah, 5, Shaq, I'm Outstanding. Number 4, my boy Zoe, Get Off. Love that. I love that doggone song. Woo, I love that song. Number 3, I got Ophelia, Jump on It. Number 2, I got Dame Dollar, Bad Little Bit. Because another one, the beat is just hard. I love that. And number 1, I got Roy Jones, I Smoked, I Drank, because that was just a hot, like that's nostalgic. It's a hit. So that's my list. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Don't forget, make sure that you tell a friend about us. Make sure that you review the show, rate and review. Again, free ways to support the pod. We appreciate it. 5 stars or better when you drop those reviews. We ain't had a review in a minute. Come on with it. But if you want to follow me on social media, you can catch me.
Wait a minute.
On the Twitter, Instagram, and PSN at Camille Monet, CamilleMonae, because
Your mom expensive.
Thanks, Fake Ken.
At Bucks Burner on Twitter.
That's all you get?
Yeah, damn right.
And it's your boy. Cut Harris, the gentleman.
No.
Wait, no, that's his intro. I do that every time.
Okay, here's 216.
On Instagram and Snapchat,
Everyday Gentleman.
Everyday _ Gentleman on
IG.
Insta.
For sure.
There you go.
And it's TIMKINZ, the number 3, aka Ask Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me. Good night, y'all. It's late. Gotta go.
Good night, y'all.